Hi everyone, it's Liam here from Rating the Races. So we are back with part 2 of the analysis video. We've got some more odds now come through for our horses, so I am happy to talk about them. The first race that I want to look at is the 340 at Newmarket. It's a 1 mile handicap for horses rated obviously 3 and over, and it is a 3-year-old that I like. Getting obviously the weight allowances, and it's kind of on the same lines as a winner we had last week. It actually comes from the same race, and I highlighted both of them for that actual race as well. So this week again, I'm going for a Godolphin horse, and it's One Nation for Charlie Appleby and James Doyle. Now, his form last year was actually pretty good. I mean, he'd done well in some good races. Second behind Dance in the Grass was good form. Third behind Naval Power. Second behind Bold Act. That was a good run. Third behind Castleway. Again, another good run. Castleway's obviously won a Group 3. He then went to Meydan and ran a couple of good races there, beaten by Naval Power and Shara, and then came back with a disappointing effort in the Britannia Stakes. The handicap finished last of 28. But interestingly, I'm just having a look, where did the other one? Highbank, who was our selection last week, finished 24th. Only just in front. And both of them were quite weak that day. Nothing really worked for either of them. Highbank has obviously proven that Charlie Appleby's horses are now in form, which they weren't during Royal Ascot. And I can see a similar result here, to be honest, like we had with Highbank. So last week it was Highbank winning at Newmarket, having won at Newmarket last year. This week, hopefully, it's One Nation winning at Newmarket, having won at Newmarket last year. Almost very, very similar times. It was the 20... In actual fact, it was to the day. He won on the 22nd of July, 2022. Beating One World, who then obviously came out and finished second to Castleway. Castleway's won a group race. I think it was good form. And One Nation won it quite comfortably, giving away weight with the cheek pieces on. Yeah, I mean, it's literally to the day that he comes back for another run at the Newmarket July course. The 3-year-old allowances, he's still got those cheek pieces on, and I'm very hopeful of a really big run here. He is currently, he's third favourite. You can get sixes. I would never like the outliers, so I always go for the next one down, which is 6-1 at a few of them. So that would be the price I would be suggesting he is. One Nation in the 340. The next horse I like is in the 525, also at Newmarket, and I'm hoping that this drop in class can turn this horse's fortunes around. And that horse is First Folio for James Ferguson. Now, First Folio actually ran a really good race last year in the Wokingham, finishing 6th, not beaten far by Rohan when he was in the wrong part of the track. He went to Royal Ascot again this year in the Wokingham. They had the visor on, and it didn't work. He finished 23rd of 27. He ran disappointingly. It's interesting to see that the visor has been dropped and cheek pieces are now on. He has run in cheek pieces before in the Coral Stewards Cup and didn't actually run that badly. He finished 12th of 28. But that was a Stewards Cup, though. He was finishing 12th then. When sent off 9-1. I mean, this race tomorrow here, this is not a Stewards Cup. None of these are anywhere near Stewards Cup level. Having dropped from 99 down to 97, he can obviously run in this race. A 0-95, he gets in on that allowance thing where, because he's £2 above, he's allowed to run in the 0-95s. So that obviously means he's taking on inferior opposition. And I don't really think there's unexposed inferior opposition in here. There's some 5-year-olds with a bit of form, like Final Watch. And I mean, the 3-year-olds, Candle of Hope and Rich, they don't look very progressive, to be honest. And I think if First Folio's going to run a big race, it should be here. He's stepping up to 7, which we're hoping suits. He may just be finding now that he's 5, he needs 7 and not 6. And 6 is just a bit too fast for him. But in this type of race, this Class 3, he's dropping in class. I mean, I don't actually know when the last time he ran in a race like this. I'm just having a look on my other screen. The Wokingham, a Class 2... When did he run in a Class 3? Class 2... he's obviously been that higher rated recently that he hasn't been able to get into a Class 3. He is now in a Class 3, and I think if he's going to run a big race, it's here. I mean, he's finished second before over 6 furlongs in a listed race. So yeah, first folio in this race at Newmarket, the 525, is the one I'm quite keen on, and he's currently 10s and 11s, so 10 to 1 is readily available, and I think that's quite a good price. If he can bounce back to his earlier form, even his fourth to Mount Athos at Kempton at the beginning of the season in March, that wasn't a bad effort. Behind Vafortino and Rhythm Master, obviously Vafortino's done well since. Finishing second at Newmarket, third at Ascot behind Rebel Territory, second recently behind Northern Express. That's reasonable form, to be honest, and hopefully First Folio can show that this drop in class is what he's needed to get himself back into good form, and he's 10 to 1. And the final horse that I like tomorrow is in the 7:45 at Doncaster, so a bit of time to wait for that one. And I think there's a very clever jockey booking here. The horse I like is Sir Thomas Gresham. He went from 88 when he finished second to Orazio, to then finishing second again behind Showbiz. The form of that race is actually quite good. He went from 88 to 90 and then up again to 91. Billy Loughnane has been booked to ride. Billy Loughnane still claims 3, and I think that's obviously puts him back down to 88. Well, I liked him off 88 when he finished second behind Orazio. Obviously, we was on Orazio, but that was a really eye-catching run from Sir Thomas Gresham. I think he's got everything in his favour. The ground is good to soft. I think he likes good to soft ground. It's not the most tricky race. Obviously, the unexposed game set, the 3-year-old could be interesting, but you're kind of taking on whether the handicapper knows what he's on about or not. I think Thomas Gresham has more to come. So even if game set has more to come, I think Thomas Gresham can certainly give him a good run at Doncaster. And he is currently, because of game set, I think we're getting a better price than we should do about Sir Thomas Gresham. I'd be disappointed if Sir Thomas Gresham doesn't finish at least second to game set. If he beats game set, I think he wins the race. So at 13 to 2, I think that's a price that is very nice there. And I'm hoping for a big run there from Sir Thomas Gresham. So the 3 here are One Nation at 6s to hopefully follow in Highbank's footsteps. He won at Newmarket on the 22nd of July 2022. Hopefully he can win on Newmarket on July the 22nd, 2023. I like First Folio, dropping in class. This isn't the hardest of races in terms of, I don't really think there's a huge amount of unexposed types in the race, and hopefully the drop in class and the step up in trip will bring out, get him back towards his best. And the last one of the day is Sir Thomas Gresham, who I think is better than an 88 rated horse, because Billy's essentially taken him down to an 88. Billy's obviously riding really, really well. He's miles clear in the apprentice title. He's claiming 3, and I don't think he'd be allowed to ride here almost for Seamus Durek if they didn't think he was going to go very close, because they don't want to waste his claim. So they're my 3. Thanks for listening, and obviously if you're a free member you will hear these tomorrow. If you're a premium member you will see this very, very shortly.